The Loretta Young Show.
Hello. I'm sure you all know the expression, God helps those who help themselves. I know it's been a favorite around our house for years, and there still seems to be one small hurdle in it for me, and that is to find out just how to help oneself. Now, I know it isn't snitching pennies out of the piggy bank. I found that out when I was 8 years old. Anyway, in our story tonight, we have taken an adult approach to this business of helping oneself. And now for our story.
It's all right, Johnny, darling. The doctor's coming pretty soon.
Mrs. Frank? Miss Ryan, will you take that, please?
Oh, where's Dr. Redwick?
Isn't he here?
Didn't he come with you?
No, he phoned me from the Feldman's place.
Oh, well, our phone's out. The levee breaks between here and the Feldmans.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about it, Miss Ryan.
No.
He'll get here somehow.
I know.
Is Mr. Ryan here?
No, he left home at 11 this morning to get to a phone to call the doctor and then help with the sandbag crew at the levee break.
I see.
Johnny wasn't so bad then. I thought it was just a bad stomachache or something.
I see. Johnny, it's Mrs. Franklin. Can you tell me where it hurts?
He keeps putting his hand down here.
Oh. I think I'll just wash up first.
Yes, sure, in there. Has he got much fever?
Children run fevers at the slightest provocation, you know. Do you have any ice bags?
Then it is appendicitis.
Now, let's let the doctor diagnose it, huh? Do you have any ice bags?
No, I don't.
All right. We'll use something else. Tea towels.
Yes, I have some in the kitchen.
We'll need about 4 of them.
Oh, if Matt were only here. Past half hour, he hasn't paid any attention at all. It's just as though he'd given up.
His temperature hasn't risen.
Are you sure you're doing the right thing, Mrs. Franklin?
Yes, I'm sure, Mrs. Ryan. You remember what I told you about borrowing trouble?
Yes, I know.
You know, my husband used to say that appendectomy is the simplest operation there is. If Johnny's temperature stays the way it is and the doctor gets here before morning, we'll be all right.
Operation? Here?
Yes, maybe.
Well, that's why you wanted all those sheets and everything out there.
Oh, Mrs. Ryan, don't you know that half the babies in this countryside were delivered at home?
Oh, well, thank God. Come in, doctor. Well, I thought you were the doctor.
What doctor?
Come in. Didn't he come with you?
Well, I didn't know anybody was sick. I got caught when the South Bridge went out. And I took the high road up.
The South Bridge went out. That was his only way here. What do we do now?
Mrs. Ryan. Mrs. Ryan's son is very ill, and we've been waiting for the doctor.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I better leave.
No, don't go. We're all alone here. We don't know what to do.
Oh, ma'am, but I don't want to upset anything.
You look like you're soaked to the skin. Oh. Maybe you better get out of those wet clothes,
Mr. Kovak, Larry Kovak,
Mr. Kovak. Mrs. Ryan, why don't you see if you can find us something dry to put on, huh? That's good. She'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I need a drink lots more than I do dry clothes. Please, ma'am, I gotta have it.
I'm awfully sorry, but I'm afraid I can't help you. And I happen to know that the Ryans are teetotalers.
Yeah, well, ma'am, you're a nurse, aren't you?
Yes.
Is your car out there?
Yes?
Oh, wouldn't you have a bottle in it? You know, a stimulant or something.
I'm awfully sorry, but I haven't.
You can come in here if you want to. These may be big for you, but they're dry.
Ma'am, I don't want to track mud all across your floor.
Oh, that's all right. It's the first door there, the open one. There's plenty of hot water.
It's all right, Johnny. All right.
What's the trouble?
Oh, we have reason to believe it's appendicitis.
What makes you think so?
Well, the doctor thought so when he heard the symptoms over the phone this morning.
Take a blood count?
No, I was waiting for the doctor to get here.
Well, take one. What have you got to lose?
What do you know about blood counts?
Not much.
Are you a doctor?
Oh, no, ma'am, I'm not a doctor.
Well, you sound as though you'd had medical training.
Well, I was a corpsman in Korea.
Oh?
That was a long time ago.
I see. For a moment, I thought you were the miracle we've been praying for.
No miracles around me, lady. Not any good ones, leastways.
Mr. Kovak, a moment ago you said I had nothing to lose by taking a blood count. Do you still think so?
Yes.
Can you help me take one?
Sure, I can help you take one.
Good. Will you bring that case over here, please?
That's it, all right. I'll bet everything I know that count's been climbing.
There's no doubt about it. You know, I don't like to frighten Mrs. Ryan any more than she already is, but I honestly think
She's got lots to be frightened about. That boy ought to be operated on now.
No. I've been afraid it might rupture.
It could with that count. Time's running out fast.
You know, Dr. Redwick told me this morning to bring everything I needed for emergency operation. He was afraid we might not be able to get him back into town.
How come he didn't show?
Must be cut off at Feldman's, that's all I can figure.
Feldman's?
Yes, that's about 5 miles north of here.
Look, I'll try the phone. I saw some men working on phone lines a couple of miles outside of town. Could be they got a line in already.
What do you think we ought to do? We can't just stand by and let that boy die.
Well, there's nothing we can do.
When you were a corpsman in Korea, you must have handled emergencies, didn't you?
Sure I did.
Well, then
Wait a minute. Not on a kid.
But I could help you. I've had 3 years in surgery, and I am an anesthetist.
Look, lady, you got the wrong idea.
No, I don't think I have, Mr. Kovak. Look, have you ever performed an emergency appendectomy?
Well, sure, but that was 5 years ago under enemy fire with a young lieutenant briefing me in step by step right from the book. I didn't think, I just did it. That was 5 years ago in a war, and I was on a man, not a kid.
Well, you know as well as I do, unless we do something right now, that boy may die.
Yeah, but I was younger then. I had nerve.
You want me to do the surgery?
Oh, no.
Well, then.
Could you brief me?
Yes, I know I could. All right. Good. Now, come on, help me get that boy in here.
No, wait a minute. I'm not a surgeon. I just happened here. Look, I'm a bum, and none of this is my business.
All right, Mr. Kovak. If you are a bum, you can sit in there by the fire. If you're a man, you can try to help. But I'm going to do everything I can to try to save that boy's life.
Mrs. Ryan, we've taken another blood count. We can't wait. We've got to operate.
Operate? Without the doctor?
Well, we figure it's the only chance. Believe me, if you say no, we won't do it. But it is the only chance. Understand?
Oh, no.
Look, Mrs. Ryan, I don't want to do this. If you give me one little reason, I won't.
She say it's got to be done now, too.
Yes, if you agree.
All right. Do it. And God love you and guide your hands.
Okay. Okay.
She all right?
She said to go ahead.
Mrs. Franklin, he's here. The doctor's here. Here.
I tried to come in the back way to the fairgrounds, but there was 3 feet of water over the ground. Young Collins kid brought me in his boat. Oh, hello, Susan. Where's the boy?
He's in the kitchen. And Doctor, you were right. It's appendix. Everything is set up for surgery.
I'll have a look at it.
Yes, Doctor, this is Mr. Kovak. Mr. Kovak was a medical corpsman in Korea. I'll explain in detail later. We've taken 2 blood counts, Doctor, and the last one was up.
Oh. Oh.
If you're a bum, you can sit by the fire.
Does it usually take so long?
Oh, sure it does, Mrs. Ryan.
I couldn't live if anything happened to Johnny. He's all we've got, Matt and me. If anything happened, we just couldn't go on.
Yeah, sure you could. People do. Not that you have to think of that right now.
You don't know. People don't understand who haven't got children.
Sure. People go on living. Even when they don't have anything to live for. Don't always do it cold sober, Mrs. Ryan. At least I haven't. Look, Mrs. Ryan, have you got anything in the house at all? You know, hard cider, wine, anything. I really need it.
No. We don't have anything like that in the house anymore. Thank God.
Thank God. The lights.
Johnny!
Wait a minute, Mrs. Ryan.
It's the flood. It's at the powerhouse.
Listen, have you got candles, a flashlight?
No. There's the oil lamp.
Oh, good. Got a hand mirror?
Yes.
Get it.
Yes.
You gonna leave now, Mrs. Ryan?
Everything's going to be all right now. I know it is. I know it.
Good. I'm sure it is.
Mr. Kovak, do you believe that things happen certain ways because the Lord planned them that way?
I'm not much of an authority on my own ways, much less his.
I think the Lord brought you to this house.
That's a nice way to put it, Mrs. Ryan. I got news for you. Nobody brought me. I came all the way alone.
Mr. Kovak, I want to tell you something. My husband used to be an alcoholic. I wish you'd wait until Matt comes home. I'd like for you to meet him.
That'd be very nice. We could compare notes on how different our experiences were.
7 years ago, when Johnny was 3, he had pneumonia. And my husband, Matt, he promised God that he'd never touch another
Mrs.
drop.
Ryan, I don't want to be rude, but this kind of talk irritates me. I haven't had a drink in 24 hours, and my nerves are raw right from my skin on end.
Well, maybe the Lord arranged that, too. Matt says that the first 24 hours without drink are hell. The rest, only purgatory.
Hell with hope?
That's it. That's what Matt meant. He's all right, isn't he, Doctor? I know he is. I know it.
Oh, he won't be turning any handsprings for the next few days. Outside of that, he'll be fine.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Can I see him now?
I think you better let us get him back into the bedroom first. Mrs. Franklin's getting him all cleaned up now.
I'm sorry I talked to you like that a minute ago. Glad your boy made it. Didn't mean to make fun of your prayers.
That's all right, Mr. Kovak. You were good to us when we needed it bad. And God's going to reward you, too.
Miss Ryan, doctor says you can come in now.
Oh, thank you.
You'll
Thank
be awake
you.
in a few minutes. Mr. Kovak, would you mind very much helping me clean up in the kitchen? Thanks.
You must be a pretty good surgeon, the old boy.
He's not so old. He's just hard-working. You know, that was real fast thinking on your part. The mirror and the lamp, I mean.
Like everything else in my life, it wasn't necessary. It didn't come off.
Well, it might have been very necessary indeed.
Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been.
Ooh, you feel awful sorry for yourself, don't you?
You know, you're a pretty cool customer, Mrs. Franklin. Cool, calm, collected at all times. It must be great for your husband.
I like to think I'm a credit to him.
Oh, you are. But he never has to think.
No, he doesn't.
I'm sorry. I got nothing against you. I just need a drink. I haven't had any sleep in this house. Gives me the shakes. Look, do you think the doctor has anything?
No, I'm sure he hasn't. You certainly walked into something when you came in here tonight, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, tomorrow's another day.
Mm-hmm.
The first of a week that'll be known as the longest drunk of my life.
Oh. Mr. Kovak, hasn't anyone ever told you you can't drown your troubles? They float.
I lost track of that kind of reason a long time ago.
You know, I read once somewhere when I was a child, nothing's ever lost. Nothing really. No good deed, no thought. You did something good tonight.
Thanks. Sorry I didn't bring my tambourine.
Oh, come off it. The war's over. Who are you fighting besides yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to give me some of that chaplain talk. I just had some from Mrs. Ryan.
You know what I think? I think you're looking desperately for something. And I think you're half afraid of finding it, because if you do, you might have to do something about it.
Is that all?
No. Whatever Whatever happened to you? Why didn't you finish medical school and become a doctor like you should have, huh?
14 months in a prison camp in North Korea. I got back, they told me I had a year-old daughter. My wife had been dead for 11 months.
Oh, I see.
Got married just before I went over. 3 weeks we had together. 3 weeks out of a whole lifetime.
There are two ways of looking at that, you know. You did have the 3 weeks. You were in love with each other, and you have a child from her.
She was a year old before she saw me. My wife's folks were taking care of her. She never even knew who I was, any more than I knew her. So I let him raise her.
Yeah, but she is your daughter. And you do have something to live for and to work for.
Well, how are we doing out here?
Fine, Doctor.
Hadn't we better work our way home?
I'll be ready in a minute.
Susan tells me you might have been a doctor.
Yeah.
I couldn't help overhearing a little of your conversation. You were in a prison camp in North Korea?
That's right. 14 months. Me and others, as they say.
Major Franklin, Susan's husband, died in a prison camp in North Korea.
Is that right? She didn't mention it.
No, she never does. It hit her rather badly. She was pregnant at the time and lost the child.
Oh. Well, that's a pretty rough deal.
Very rough indeed. Her husband was a very fine doctor, really gifted, and it was a real love match. They were engaged for a long time. Her salary as a nurse helped him through medical school. They'd only been married 3 weeks.
She never said a word.
For 6 months, she wouldn't go outside, wouldn't see anybody. Now she's taken to work like some people take to drink. It helps her forget in the right way.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
And there's this much about it. Sometimes we find ourselves in a spot where we can't get a drink. But there's never a place where we can't find something to keep us busy, especially if we're in medicine. There's always work to do.
Ready, Doctor.
Oh. I'll take these.
Oh, thank you.
We'll find someone with a rowboat to get us across the slough.
All right.
How about you? We probably can get you across, too, if you want to get back to town.
Well, I still got all of Mr. Ryan's clothes on.
Oh, well, we can wait for you to change. Not that much hurry.
Well, do you think it'd be wrong if I stayed around? I mean, until Mr. Ryan got back.
No, I think that'd be a very good idea.
I kind of like to stay and talk to him. See if he needs someone to stay around and help.
He is going to need someone to rebuild the fences that have been washed out.
I kind of thought he'd help me rebuild a few of my fences.
And when you get back to town, young man, look me up. I think you owe medicine a little debt.
I'll do that, Doctor.
Goodbye, Mr. Kovak. Good luck.
Bye.
Doctor?
All right.
Thank you.
I don't think many of us can quibble with these words of Seneca, philosopher, writer, and poet. Work is the sustenance of the healthy mind. Well, good night. See you next week.